Good morning, everybody. Hello. So sorry, I'm running late today. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. Uh, I'm getting into the comments here. Hopefully you guys can find me. Hopefully I have audio this time. Go ahead and comment. Let me know you're here and let me know if you have audio. Those are going to be the two most important things today. And I'm sorry that I have that camera in my face today. Good morning. Hi, Tammy. You can hear me, right? I am super behind today, so thank you guys so much for bearing with me. I would like to do a door prize drawing for those that hit the share button for me last time I was live. Gosh, when was the last time I was live? So I need to actually go find all of you guys' comments, and we're gonna put the tickets in the bucket together live. So let me make sure. Hi, good morning. Hey, everybody. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Feline. Hi, Kim. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you so much. So speaking of sharing, I'm going to go back and find my last video when I was live, back before I was sick. I made that super fun. I think was it St. Patrick's Day stuff? Okay, so there's my shares. Let's go ahead and put everybody in the bucket here. So hit the share button. Now, Facebook, depending on your settings, will show me who shared as long as your settings allow that. So a lot of times I can't see who shared. So it makes it a little bit hard. But I see Annie Lopez shared and Karen Christensen and Feline and Terry. That's all I can see from there. That's not good. I wish it would show me some more. That's only 4. Makes it kind of hard. Let's see. Let me go to my Facebook page in case you were watching my page and you shared there. So I have Pretty in Paper Crafts Facebook group, and I have Pretty in Paper Crafts with Tiffany, which is my Facebook page. I know that's super confusing. And so, I've got 5 shares there. Sonia De Silva. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia lives in Canada, so I can't put her in the drawing. And then on YouTube as well. I'm also live on YouTube. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other shares. So what I'll do here, since I want to add some more people into the share bucket, is I'm going to just pull some random people that commented on my video last Facebook Live, which was all the way back in March 6th. That's just crazy. I've missed the last 2 weeks. It feels like it's been an eternity. Okay, so here's my comments and my comment section. And I had 124 comments. And looks like Eva White. Miss Eva, you're going to get a drawing, an entry into the drawing. Let's go no, I don't want real time. I hate that I only have like random options. Looks like Lisa Martin, she commented. And Angela Jensen. Thank you guys so much for participating in my videos. I've got Annie and Eva. Let's see. Let's throw some other fun names into the bucket here. Seeing a lot of the same people, so I'm just scrolling through here, trying to find someone. Oh, there's Nicole. Nicole Flor. I can't even say your name. Nicole Farmer Flower Noy. Flower Noy is how it's spelled. Hi, Nicole. Let's see. Nancy Coles. Nancy's always sharing my videos. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me today. I know I'm a little bit behind here. There's Andy Sorbell. Hi, Andy. Okay. That way I don't take up too much of your guys' time today, but I've got a good amount of names here in the bucket. And I don't know if you can get into your Facebook settings. Hopefully, if you're hitting the share button and I'm not calling your name, it's because I don't get notified that you share my videos. So there's some sort of security setting. I have 2 fun giveaways today. So I'll go through those real quick. I've got 2 fun giveaways. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you. There we go. See my hands here. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jewel. Hi, Anita. Thank you guys for watching. Hi, Dawn. Thank you, Jewel, for sharing. So I have 2 2 little gifts to give away today. One is a celebration stamp set. It says it feels like home. It's very pretty. This would be really fun to color with colored pencils. It's got some really sweet sentiments. I love the mixture of cursive and regular fonts. So that's going to be fun. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to draw a winner for that real quick. Miss Terry Sampson. Yay, Terry. Thank you so much for sharing and watching every week. The other thing I have, if you guys have been around Paper Pumpkin for a while, you'll recognize this kit. This was Sarah's sunshine box of sunshine kit that was, I think it's 2 years old. Or maybe it was last year. It's super fun, super bright and colorful. I had an extra one of these and I want to give it away to someone. So let's pull a name out of there. Miss Eva White. I'm going to be sending you some sunshine, my friend. Yay. I'm going to grab a little bit of washi tape to stick this on because I don't have, if I can find the end of my washi tape. You guys are awesome for bearing with me. I'm so sorry I was late this morning. My family, we've all been sick for the last week. What's crazy is that all of them tested positive for COVID and I did not. I just washi tape my enemy. So yeah, so we've been battling the crud in our house. Thankfully, everybody's feeling so much better. My husband's back to work. He tested negative. Yeah, so everybody's getting back to life. I had to work through it all. I did take 2 days off, but yeah, it was basically dead to the world. So anyways, okay, so we've got the prizes given away. Thank you guys so much for hitting that share button. I will give away 2 more fun prizes next week for that. I'm gonna real quickly 2 things. Number 1 is I have my last Creativity Delivered kits for February was Flowering Rain Boots, the Flowering Rain Boots bundle. I have 3 extra kits. So this is the Flowering Rain Boots. Ashley and I designed 4 cards. There's 8 cards that come in here. It also comes with a pack, half a pack of the rainbow paper. It comes with embellishments and ribbon and the 8 projects. So you can see here all of the things. And then you also get this really cute bag that it comes with. So there's 3 kits left. They're $40 each. That includes shipping. Just message me privately and let me know you'd like one of the kits and I'll send you a PayPal invoice. I've got 3 of those left. The other thing that I want to tell you guys about is not creativity, Bunko. So I'm doing a Bunko if I can get enough people. I'm going to be using the Hello Beautiful bundle for Bunko. So Bunko is going to be April 1st on a Friday here locally at my home. I do have some spots, so if you want to come play with us on Friday, it's going to be so much fun. And so that's going to be Friday, April 1st at 6 p.m. at my home. We'll be using this bundle, making 3 super cute projects, and we'll be playing Bunko, which is a dice game. It's super fun. And we'll have prizes for Bunko. We have like 5 prizes for Bunko. It's a blast. And then we like do snacks and have a ball. And then I will be doing one online virtually through Zoom on Sunday, the 3rd of April at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So it's 10 a.m. Pacific time, Sunday, April 2nd. So much fun. Come play Bunko with us on Zoom. You'll get make and takes. You'll get 3 make and takes with a tutorial. We won't be making the cards live. We're just going to play Bunko. And then there will be prizes. And I will send those prizes out after we play, obviously. All right. So there is a form to sign up for both. So make sure you fill out the Google form. If you can't find the Google form on my Facebook group, I created 2 events, one for local, one for the Zoom. If you can't find those, just message me and I will send you the link. But I need you to sign up ASAP because I've got to order the stuff this week, the prizes and things, and get ready before the following week. Okay. Yes, Janie, I see it's you. Hi, Janie. Hi, Terry. Hi, Dawn. You guys are awesome. Hi, Becky. Thank you. We are getting over the crud slowly but surely. Okay, today, you guys wondering what I'm making, what I'm using today? Let's go ahead and get into it. I totally am jumping on the bandwagon with this Waves of Inspiration. This was actually what I wanted to use for Creativity Delivered, but because I've had to cut back on my workload, I had to stop Creativity Delivered, so I didn't get to use this. So I said, well, I get to use it for Facebook Live. So it comes with this gorgeous paper that I am absolutely in love with. I mean, the colors are to die for. There's a really cool video from Stampin' Up! Of how they made this. I think this is all photographed and they're actually real art pieces. And so I'll share that on my Facebook group, or yeah, my Facebook group if I can find it later. And then the other thing that I really love about this suite is it comes with this beautiful, shiny metallic paper. And it also comes with these gorgeous embellishments. And I'm loving the blues and the greens in this because that's my favorite color family is the blues and the greens. So let me show you what I've created. I did 3 different projects and I hope you guys like them. I hope you find them inspiring. I know, the beach, totally. I'm loving, I love the ocean. I love everything, the beach, ocean. I can't wait to go this summer. And so this definitely takes me there. So the first project I used or I did is I wanted to kind of create a little sunny beach scene, I guess you could call it. It's not, I wish you guys could see. I don't know how to make you see. I did a really cool technique on this so that it looks shiny and looks like water. It looks actually watery. And my camera is not showing it. I wonder if I turned on this light, you guys could see it. Let me try that. Okay. Oh, there you go. See that shine? Look at that. It's so cool. Looks like wet water. And I'm going to show you guys this technique. Super easy, really cute. I did have a little boo-boo here. I'm going to show you guys how not to do this. I smudged my ink there. I used a baby wipe like a dummy instead of a paper towel. So anyways, just don't be like me and don't destroy your background. So I'm going to show you how we sponge the little sunset there and have our cool waves in the different colors and make it shiny like that. So cool. I do love the sentiments that are in this stamp set. Your strength is an inspiration. There's some really great ones. You are so totally awesome. Our friendship is a thing of beauty and happy birthday. I mean, it's perfect. Now, I did go a little bit feminine, but guys, these are great for masculine cards. Now, this could be great for a man too. Like, I'm not saying that waves and a little pink in the sky isn't masculine. I'm just saying this is a great, I just kind of tend to attract towards those lighter colors. You can see my next card, SpongeBob. And then my next one here is I wanted to use that foil paper and use the DSP and just kind of see what else I could make with it. And so this was a little Seahorse that I used. I used these dies. I have never used them before, the Sea Life dies. They're from the main catalog, which is expiring soon, which it's retiring. So if you love that, you will want to get that. And I did those in foil and I made a little window scene and I opened it. I left this free so that you could open to the next page here. And then inside I've got our friendship is a thing of beauty. And I love that you've got this beautiful background there to see. So this was just kind of a fun way to use those foils and those papers and using a different stamp set. So maybe you don't want the wave stamp set, but you want to use it using other oceany type themed projects or materials that you have. All right, my last one is definitely my wow card. So I've got this, I've cut out one of the waves. The dies for this set are really, really cool. There's 2 different waves that it cuts out. So I cut that out of the foil paper. I've got a little foil border there just for more shine. And then when I open it up, I've got a scene here. Look at that. almost looks like the waves are actually moving across the ocean. And it's basically like a little window box. And you have a place on the side here to write your message. And I absolutely love this. Like, look at that. Like, doesn't it look like the wave is actually rolling across? And I did a little scene up at the top there in the sky with clouds and a bird. Okay, so there's the 3 projects that I'm going to do for you today. We're going to start with this one because it's actually the easiest, believe it or not. We're going to stamp and sponge and make this cool little card, and then we'll move on to the next one. So let's go ahead and get the supplies for that. Now, I want to tell you guys, Janie's like, we can call him Billy Ocean. Janie, she's too funny. Okay, I want to let you guys know, this is a complete disclaimer. If my cards look a little rough, it's because I designed them this morning. I got up at 5 a.m. and I've been designing. That's why I'm a little bit late this morning, is because I've been designing and cleaning up from designing and cutting and getting ready. So, yeah. I had so many things to do yesterday. I was prepping for my retreat that I have next Saturday. And so, next Saturday. And so I just ran out of time last night, ran out of a little oomph, and I said, I'll figure it out in the morning. Do you guys ever do that? Just save it to the very last possible second? Well, that was me. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a piece of basic white cardstock. I am using my Stamparatus because this is a big stamp, and I don't want to have to worry that I'm going to stamp it correctly, because if I mess up, I can stamp it again with my Stamparatus. I'm going to put my piece of basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 5. And what I like to do is take my stamp and kind of place it where I think I want it. So I'm going to place it there, which I think will be good. Put my magnet down to hold my piece in place. And I'm going to be stamping this in 3 different colors. The first color I'm going to stamp it in is Balmy Blue. I'm going to get Balmy Blue and then Pacific Point. So first Balmy Blue. Just ink that up. And press down. Were you designing? We were designing at the same time. I love it. Okay, so there's that pretty blue background stamp, or the wave stamp. And now we're going to do it in Pacific Point. So let me clean off grab a baby wipe. That's why my fingers are tinted blue, is because I've been designing like the ends of I put my nails in ink. So you're like, why are her fingers so dirty? Well, they're blue. They're stained blue from all of the designing I was doing this morning. You should put ocean music on. That would be like the sound of waves while I'm making waves is like perfect. I love that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset my waves a little bit so they're not exactly in the same spot. So I'm just going to kind of move them over and down just a smidge, not a whole bunch, just a little bit. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have edges, okay? You don't want to have where the edge of the stamp, you can see it. I did a little bit. I'll show you guys if you look very closely. You can see my dark blue ends just a smidge too soon. I'm going to try and prevent that this time. You can always use your blending brushes and try to blend that out a little bit, but because I can see here that I barely missed the little side, but we'll take care of that with the blending. Okay, so we'll stamp that in the Pacific Point. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Oh, I see that we didn't get it quite in this corner, so let me push down again. That's the beauty of a Stamparatus. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and clean this off. And we want this to dry really, really well because we are going to emboss. We're going to emboss in clear emboss powder. And that's going to give us the shine right on top of our waves. So clean that off. We want that to dry really well. We've got our embossing buddy, our clear emboss powder, and our Versamark ink. I am going to take my embossing buddy and just pass it over the paper because we don't want it to stick to anything that's already there. We don't want it to stick to the ink. Just want it to stick to the Versamark. So I'm going to stick this back over my image here. Pick that up. And now let's put our Versamark ink. I'm just going to pass. Well, no, I don't want to move it. I always get nervous. So just ink it up with Versamark. And I'm actually going to do this twice because I want a good, nice coating. So I'm going to push it down once. And then just to make sure that I actually got it good, I'm going to push it down again. Ink it up and push it down again. Yeah, this is not actually my idea. I saw this on YouTube. Somebody else did this, and it was very, very clever. And I was like, genius. And I can't remember her name, dang it. I'll try to remember. She did a bunch of different techniques, and she did one that was shiny, and I was like, oh, that's genius. We get our good ideas from each other, don't we? But I should have written her name down, so I could have given her credit for the idea. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to heat set that real quick with our heat tool. So let me get my heat tool out. Can you guys see how it's turning shiny? It's my favorite part. I love this because it leaves pieces that are white and pieces that are light blue. It just mixes those colors together so perfectly. And that shiny effect is really, really cool. Okay, let me clean off any excess powder I may have on my desk. All right, I've got my 4 blending brushes. I'm going to do 4 different colors. I'm going to start out with the yellow, and I chose So Saffron as my yellow, but you could use whatever yellow you have. And I'm going to do that closest to the water. So I'm going to say, okay, the sun is setting. So I'm going to bring that yellow down close to the water. I'm even going to bring it into the water because, you know, we always have reflections. So I'm going to get it nice and dark yellow there. And don't be afraid to mix it into the waves. Like I said, there's obviously going to be a reflection on the water, and those colors are going to go down into the water. Okay, I think that's good with yellow. Now we're going to do orange. So I've got paper pumpkin. I've got pumpkin pie and a little blending brush here. You can always blend first on a piece of paper to get any excess off before, just to make sure you don't make any lines. I love that orange. Very pretty. My So Saffron almost seems a little dirty compared to the pretty orange. Okay, so there's the orange. Now we're going to add some pink. And I can't talk today. I used a Flirty Flamingo for my pink. I didn't take my own advice, and I got it too dark right there in the corner. We're going to have to do some serious blending here. I'm going to pull that pink down into the orange a little bit. and into the waves. I love that. You can even bring some pink down in here. Because again, reflection, right? So you're just going to blend that till you're happy with it. Okay, and then we're going to do our blue. So I'm going to take my balmy blue. Oops, at my corner. So taking balmy blue. Blending that into the pink. With blending, you just have to be patient and keep adding layers of color until you're happy with it. I just love the colors. Just blending that all in. And then I did go in with a darker blue at the end just to get the tops and the edges so that the top isn't light. Because if the sun's setting, right, it's going to be darker the further away you are from the sun. Okay, I did a little bit on the sides too. Okay, so there is my scene, my little sunset. And what did I do? What did I do with my paper towel? I had a paper towel set aside for this. Now I don't know what I did with it. Because oh, there it is. You want to get any excess ink off of the shiny clear embossing powder so that you bring that shine back. Okay. So just took a little bit of ink off and you can still see the shininess. Ooh. And there's our scene. And then all I did was just stamp the sentiment that I wanted, which is your strength is an inspiration. I just stamped that into the sky. Now this is the scary part because you don't want to create any lines. You don't want to mess this part up, right? So you can take a baby wipe and clean off the edges, but you just want to be really careful. Just be really careful and stamp. Because this is the do or die. Now you could always come and, like, if you didn't like this, right, you could always put a label over it and try again. Not a big deal. But, you know, you want to be careful. Okay. So there is our card. Now we are going to glue these layers down. I'm going to use seal. I love it. I love, love, love this pretty ocean. So gorgeous. And then, so this piece of basic white is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So this piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then this piece is Pacific Point is 4 by 5 1/4. And then the balmy blue is our base, and that's our normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. A little edge. I need to get a little sander, like a little sand block, sandpaper block. Sand those fluff edges. All right, and then that goes right there in the middle. And bam, you have a beautiful card. Look at that. I love it. I love that it's got that little shine, but it's very basic because it's very pretty. And that's just stamping right there. Okay. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 is our, like, going in a completely different direction card. We went with a different die set, but we still kept the gorgeous paper. So we've got this beautiful paper. This is probably my favorite. I love the colors here. This is gorgeous too. Ooh, that'd be pretty. What do you guys think? Should I do this side? This side instead of this side? Oh man. The other thing I'm going to change it up a little bit is I think I might mix these two colors of green and not just have it all, what is this color called? Pear Pizzazz, I think it's called. I was thinking about using Granny Apple Green just because it's brighter. So you guys tell me what you think. So which side do you think? You like the lighter side or the darker side? Janie says light. We've got one vote for light. What do you think? Light or dark? Will he get lost in the dark side? The dark side of the force. Sherry says the darker side. Dawn says darker. Terry says light. The only reason I say dark is just because I'd like to compare the two. You know what I mean? To have both and to compare the two. Lighter. Seahorse will get lost. Yes. Kind of thinking that it might happen. Okay, we'll keep it with the lighter side. The base is Pool Party, 4.5 or 4.25 by 5.5 base. And we are going to be using our diorama. I think they're called a diorama. Layering diorama dies. And I'm using the second to largest die there. And I'm just going to die cut the front of our card. So just want to center that and run it through the machine. I've got my attachment to my machine. Have you guys seen these attachments? This was a gift for me. Somebody gifted this to me, and it attaches to the side of your Big Shot. And I haven't been using it because I don't have a lot of space, but because I'm needing washi tape a lot more and stuff, I decided to get it out and pop it on there. So anyways, little distraction. But we're going to run that diorama through the side. All right. So we've cut the window. Okay. Save this piece for something else because it can be a pond or it can be an ice skating rink for a polar bear. It can be something else. All right. So there's the front of our card. Now, for the Seahorse, I die cut out of those beautiful foil papers. I've got one in light blue and one in dark blue. So let me put this away. And if you're just joining us and you're wondering what the heck I'm using the Sea Life dies, which are in the main catalog. I didn't even buy the stamps for this. I just bought the dies because they're so cool. And then I took the little fish too, and we're going to take our little seaweed. Don't you hate when the paper tears away? Ugh, the worst. We're going to do the seaweed and the seahorse and the fish. So we've got to die cut these out a bunch of times. One here, one here. We've got to get a bunch of seaweed and the fish. So let's go ahead and bring the machine back out now that we know what we're doing. And let me tell you, this has a lot of messy little pieces to it, but it's really cool. It's totally worth it. Let's see the fish. Let's get the fish in here as well. We'll cut those guys out. Maybe I can fit them here and not waste. I don't want to waste any of this foil because it's so pretty. You get 2 sheets of each color. So you get 2 sheets of the light blue, 2 sheets of the dark blue, and you get 2 sheets of silver. Where do you get that side thingy? This is, I think, a Sizzix brand, and I think you can get it at a craft store. It was gifted to me by a friend, so I didn't actually buy it myself, so I can't really tell you. But I believe you can get it at craft stores or order it online. Okay, so then we're going to do our second seahorse in the dark blue. I hope you guys like the shiny Seahorse. It's definitely different. It's pretty, uh, but yeah, I thought what a fun different way. My bone folder is color. You know why my bone folder is colorful? Because I use it to spread the ink on my ink pads when I ink refill. Rather than use a spoon, I just use my bone folder, and it's porous and it absorbs the colors, so it looks really dirty. I only have one that I do that. I have my other one that I gave to my team as a gift. I put everybody's name on it. This one's dirty, but it doesn't have ink on it. So, anyways, I have a messy one for ink and one for regular. All right, so there's my 2 seahorses. Let's go ahead and cut a bunch of seaweed. We do need a few. I'm going to do a few in each color, and we'll mix and match, I think. Oh, there we go. See, Tammy says her husband bought her one from Craft Warehouse. So I knew that the craft stores probably carried them. All right, I'm going to cut off some of the seaweed, but that's okay. We'll get one more out of this piece. Oh, sure. Okay, there we go. There's one. Some of these don't cut out very well. There's 2. So I've got 3 of these Granny Apple Green ones, and let's do some Pear Pizzazz ones. I'm trying to be conservative with paper, but I don't think it's going to work. It does look like a salad, doesn't it? How's the diet going? Mine isn't going so well now. Oh no, I'm sorry. Because I was sick, I went right off the deep end, got right into the sugar and flour because I am a comfort person. Like when I don't feel good, I want food. Food is my comfort. So that wasn't good. So last weekend I got into the sugar and flour, and I've been really having a hard time getting back out of it. I was pretty cranky this week. 1, because I'm obviously not feeling well, but 2, because I was trying to get back off sugar and flour. And so it's a battle. We've had a lot of junk food in our house and a lot of temptation, which has been really hard. My husband's been buying a lot of sodas, which is not normal, and a lot of pastries. And my daughter got a big old ice cream cake for her birthday. And so there's just been a lot of temptation, and normally I'm okay, but lately, because I haven't been feeling well, because I got back into the sugar and flour, it's been really hard. So I'm like starting all over. But when I got on the scale, so I got into the sugar and flour this last weekend like crazy, and so I gained 2 pounds on Monday when I weigh in, because I weigh in on Mondays. I gained 2 pounds, which isn't too bad, right? I can still turn this around and get back on track. This week has been a struggle, but today's like day 3 of like sort of staying out of it. I'm not 100%, but I'm getting better. So we'll see how mean the scale is to me on Monday. But I am down almost 70 pounds. I think I'm back. I think because of the weight gain, I'm back up to like 66 or 64 pounds lost or something like that. But it's still an improvement. I feel a million times better. So yeah, so thank you for asking. Just trying to get back out of that sugar and flour, because, when you're sick, you don't want to, well, for me, when I'm sick, I just want junk food. I just want comfort. Okay. So I cut my 2 little seahorses. I'm just popping out all the little pieces. I told you that it's messy. They're everywhere. All these little pieces. They'd be great for a shaker card. Maybe. Like all this material for shaker cards, because they're shiny, but it's messy. By the way, I saw someone on, what was that? I saw someone on Facebook, and they cut out the goldfish out of the rainbow glimmer paper. Woo! It is so hard, Jewel. I know. I feel your pain. We can do it together. Okay, so I've got my seahorses. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually glue them so that they're offset so that you can see both the light blue and the dark blue. So there's kind of a border. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but trust me, it's there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on sort of the thicker areas because it's really hard to glue with all these little pieces. Okay. And because I'm gluing on foil, it takes a while for this to glue. So be patient with it. So figure out where you want it. Like so. See, it slides because it's foil. Just kind of put it where you want it and then don't touch it for a bit. Let it be. Okay. All right, so here is our background piece, and I thought it was really cool. Let's see. I did a thing where the seahorse, let me bring my original in. I did a thing where my seahorse is using his tail to hook into the seaweed. So I definitely want to replicate that again. I think I'm going to go with the darker one with the granny apple green. And I can just kind of loop the tail in like so. So the seahorse is anchored, right? Like a seahorse would be. So I'm going to anchor my seahorse. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this seaweed. Kind of keeping my seahorse anchored in there. I'm going to glue the seahorse down as well. So I'm just kind of putting adhesive in the bigger areas. Okay, so then we're going to kind of position this so that the seaweed's in the corner and the seahorse is in the center. Okay. My fingers are getting sticky from this glue. All right. So there's that. And then we're going to do some seaweed on the top here. I'm going to use my lighter seaweed, the Pear Pizzazz. You can even overlap it so that it's on top of him, so he's kind of camouflaged. You just want to make sure that if your seaweed's poking up over the sides, that you just kind of trim it off. This one up here should be okay, but this one on the side wasn't going to be okay. So, all right. And then we've got these two pieces that I can then put on the outer layer. I don't think I want another one inside. I think just having the two inside is fine. I have 3 more pieces that I can use. So now I'm going to put this to the inside of my piece here. And I want this to be centered. And what I did was I only wanted glue on this side right here so that it could be free. Now, what do you guys think? Should I do that again? Should I leave it free like this so it's like a second page? Or should I put dimensionals on the back of this and just have it like dimensional on the back? So there would be a gap there, but this would be closed. What do you guys think? Dimensionals or just glue the side? Should it be like this one where it's free, or should I just dimensional it all and make it a full layer? I kind of want to do that. I'm almost not going to wait for you guys to comment because I kind of want to try it with the dimensional so we can see the difference. Eva says dimensional. Good. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. I think I'm just going to put dimensionals in the 4 corners. Oops. And we'll just see what that looks like. I've never put dimensionals on the inside of the card before. That's going to be a first for me, but I think it'll look cool. So I'm just going to center this in the middle of my card and the inside as best I can and glue it down. Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got our seahorse there in the middle. We have these little fish that we can glue down as well. I just kind of tucked them in wherever. around the Seahorse so we can glue those down. I've got glue all over me. Come on. Come on, liquid glue. So there's one fish down here. We'll put another fish over here. They're just chilling with their homie here. Okay, so then we've got our shiny blue fish. Let's put some seaweed up here at the top and at the bottom. Should I do them in opposite corners? Should I do it like that instead of like this? Does that make it look fuller? Of course, I'll have to trim it down. But should I do opposites? I like it attached too. What do you guys think? Should it be there or should it be there? Janie says, yes, opposites. Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, let's do opposites. All right, so I'm going to glue this down. And then based on how you glue it down, you're going to have to trim. And be careful with your glue because you don't want to glue off the sides. So I'm going to glue that there. Let that dry for a second, and then I'll trim it. Let's glue this here. I'm just putting adhesive on kind of the center because I don't want to glue down. I don't want to put glue on places where it's going to be, you know, because layers. Ugh. Can't talk today. You guys are just going to have to translate for me. Okay, so let's trim off the excess. Maybe. One of the things I really like about this card isn't even the foil, which the foil is gorgeous, but one of the things I really like is the inside, that there's this pretty paper on the inside. I like that. Okay. The other thing I did was added some of those pretty embellishments that come with this suite. I added, let me kind of clean up after myself a little bit. I added, yay, I have another piece of seaweed that we can use. Oh, we'll use that on the inside. I added these sequins as bubbles for the fish. So you can see here, I've got bubbles coming up from each of them. Now this one has more seaweed, so it might be a little bit harder to see or might be a little bit more busy. But the nice thing about these sequins is that they come in different sizes. So you can start from small and go up to bigger. And we'll do blue for the Seahorse. Oh, that's big. We want to do a little one first. And for the Seahorse, we'll do an even bigger bubble. And it's going to kind of be hidden back behind. Look at that. So now our Seahorse and our fish have bubbles. Cute. Okay. So for the inside, I took that stamp that's super long. It says, our friendship is a thing of beauty. I didn't like it being one long thing, so I wanted to make it into, I wanted to split it into two. It's a little tough to do, but I managed. So our friendship is, that's the first one we're going to ink up. You just want to make sure you don't have ink anywhere else. And what I did notice is that I tend to get the top here. So let me get some wipes. There's like this edge up here for whatever reason. And so I'm going to clean that off first. So our friendship is, and then a thing of beauty. So don't get the line. A thing of beauty. And the nice thing is if we screw up, we can turn it over and we can do it on the back side without gluing it down first, obviously. Okay. I stamped that in Coastal Cabana. So it's a nice light blue and it matches the, oh, this is Pool Party. Oh, well. Coastal Cabana is the color of the foil. So I guess it works. And we are going to glue this down. And then I added some more seaweed because I had an extra piece. And lo and behold, I have an extra piece this time. And we're going to add another piece of seaweed. You could also add another little fish. You could add a fish coming out of the seaweed. I'm going to do this where it's kind of coming off the side. I think I'm going to just cut a straight line. And just put it on the edge. There we go. But yeah, you could add a little fish. You could add one of these little fish poking out of the seaweed down here too. I love this card. I think it's very cool. Our friendship is a thing of beauty. It is a beautiful card. So there you go. There's another way to use that DSP and that foil paper without using the waves. Okay. There's our different versions of the Seahorse. Seahorse are very camouflaged and stuff too. So I feel like this is a nice and busy, but like ocean busy, right? Just like a seahorse likes it. Sure. That's what we'll say. That's what we're going to tell ourselves. Okay. Cleaning off the stickiness on my fingers. And this one is super fun. This one is our box card. We've got like a little wave scene on the inside. Uh-oh, I froze. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. So we've got the waves and it just looks like it's moving, which is so cool. Like the waves are actually coming and crashing to the shore. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this. It's really actually very easy. So our card base is 4 1/4 by 11. Just going to fold that in half at 5 1/2. And then I also scored it at 1 1/4. So we're going to fold that in and burnish. Okay. Now you have another piece, and this is all Coastal Cabana. So this is Coastal Cabana. You have another piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 1/2 inch on each end. So 1/2 inch from this end and 1/2 inch from this end. That's on the long side. Okay, so I scored 1/2 inch on the long side from both ends. And so you've got these two pieces that look like this. Now we are going to create a window out of this. And what I used was the stitched rectangles. But this rectangle is shaped a little bit differently. Not this one. So depending on what size you want your window, you're going to have to actually cut this twice in your machine. So let me pull my machine out, my Big Shot, and we will cut this out twice. So the first time I'm going to do it, get my purple tape. I'll do it up there. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. Oh, and keep this because you can use it for something. All right, careful with the purple tape. Don't want to rip your card. All right, so now we're going to do the opposite side. And we want the whole trick to this is lining up those tracks. So those stitching tracks, you can kind of feel when your die gets into the stitch and it's matched up, and that's where you want to cut, because if you don't, you could actually cut out the stitching and it will look ugly. We always run that risk. So just try to get that stitching to kind of lock into place. And the best part, you have another little label. Look at that. You can use that for something else. All right, so we have our window. Now, I will point out that my window this time is bigger than my window from last time. And you can see there are score lines here. When I was first making this card, I was following a tutorial of someone. Oh, Janie, can you help me remember who this person was? Was it Julie Davidson? And she said score a half an inch on all four sides, and I was like, okay. So I did that, and then I realized that no, it was just supposed to be scored on the sides, on the long side. So I didn't cut my window big enough. So this time my window's a little bit bigger, so we're gonna have a bigger window to see all the cool things inside. So just so you know that that's why there's a difference. Okay. The next thing you're gonna do is cut out some waves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our foil paper. We need blue and green, or I guess both blues, blue and light blue. And let me cut this down. I'm going to try and conserve paper. So here in the front, I'm using a piece of this dark blue foil paper. So I'm going to cut it down to size, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to try and cut the wave, the blue wave that I need, right out of the middle without going to the edges, so that I can reuse this piece for my background piece. So I'm saving, like I'm conserving foil. We'll see if I'm successful. I have a plan, but you know, sometimes the best laid plans don't always go as expected. All right, so again, there's 2 waves here. So we're going to cut out both. We're going to cut out one out in the light blue, one in the dark blue. Now, these waves are sort of long, and we actually don't need it to be this long. We only need it to be 4 inches. So I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to like stop right here. Like I said, we're going to try and conserve this foil paper. So we'll see how I do. Okay, so the way to do that is to put it on your plate. Let's tape it down so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, and then you're going to put your plate only up to where you want it to cut. So I don't want it to cut all the way. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay. And since it doesn't cut it out all the way now because I didn't go all the way, I'm going to use scissors to snip that off. Okay, so I used this one on that color. We'll use this one on the lighter color. And since I'm not using this one, I'm going to be cutting out 2 sets of waves with this one, one for the front and one for the inside. I'll just put it there on the corner. I'm going to run it through twice just to make sure it cuts it out really well. And then we can put this one right there and conserve ourselves a little bit of foil. Okay. So we've got those, and I think that's all we're going to cut for now. We will have to cut some more things later, but one thing at a time. All right, so there's one wave. There's our second wave, and here's our third wave. Let's go ahead and cut those out so we can conserve paper. There we go. So we're going to use this for a layer later on, so keep that. Then we have to push out all these little pieces of the wave. Sometimes the foil doesn't cut them out very well. This foil's thicker. So I'm just pushing these out and trying to make sure nothing rips because it is very thin. Okay. This is the boring part, right? We want all those little pieces. It's awesome to have these detailed dies, but then sometimes the downside to that is that it does take time because you've got all the little things to pop out. How's everyone doing? How are you guys? Are you feeling the spring is coming along? Is the weather getting better? Are you guys doing anything fun for spring break? Anybody going to join me for Bunko? I need 12 people for Bunko on Facebook or on Zoom. I think I only had 3 people sign up so far, so I don't know if it's just a bad week for people or if it got missed. People weren't seeing it because I haven't been on to talk about these things very much. All right, so I'm going to cut this way because of the wave, and I'm going to cut my wave at 4 inches. So I'm just going to put this down here and cut this off real quick. So there's 4 inches. And I actually think I can go to 4 and a, is it 4.5? I can go a little bit longer. So I'm going to go a little bit longer on this one. I think I can go to 4.25. Okay. So there's our edges cut. Now this is the tricky part. And this is why I'm going to do this piece before I glue my waves down, or before I glue this piece down. But you have your wave, and you're going to glue your wave down to the back, just to the bottom here. And so I'm only going to put glue. Woo, careful. I'm only going to put glue on this tiny little edge, just on this edge here. Just dab the glue. And then just a skinny amount along the side and bottom. Okay, and so this is the back side. So let's flip this over. And you're just going to glue this down to the back side. Okay, so there's our wave attached. Our first wave is attached. And did I do my blue in front? No, I didn't. Okay, I did blue in back, so that's good. So now we're going to take this wave and we're going to glue it behind our first wave. So we got to put glue on it as well. What do I do with my glue? Sticky, sticky. It's just held on by a thread, you guys. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, so cool. So there's the wave. The wave in our window. Now, getting these to stay down. The other thing I could do is put some double-sided tape. Actually, that's the smartest thing to do. And just don't peel off the backing. There we go. So now we have the waves, and they're going to be nice and secure, and they're not going anywhere. Oh, why didn't I think of that sooner? Okay. So now let's put this piece on the inside of this piece. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take adhesive. Now I'm going to use liquid glue because I never lay things down straight, and I always have to wiggle them around. But if you feel like you don't want to use liquid glue, you can use tear and tape. But you just want a nice strong adhesive. And you're going to glue this piece to the inside of this flap here. Okay, so just gluing it down like so. Just glue it down. Can you believe I did all this morning from 5 a.m.? Can't wait for Bunko. Yay, Andy. And Evelyn and Janie's coming. I love our Bunko group. It's so much fun. It's so cute too because they're just like, all right, here's next month's payment. Like they pay me at class for the next month already. I'm like, okay, it's great. But we do have some spaces open for the local one if you want to come and have fun with us locally. And when we have a ton of space, we have like, I only had 3 people sign up so far. So I have like, what is that? What's the math on that? 9 spaces. Okay, so I put adhesive on this last tab. I'm laying it flat, flat, flat. I'm going to fold over the front flap. This is going to create our box, and it's going to make sure that it's glued. Oh, the background. Yeah, thank you. Fortunately, I can glue that on anytime. Okay, so there is our pop-up. And we want to make sure, why is this not? Yeah, you want to make sure it closes and you can see it opens like a box. Why is this? I'm not happy with this. Hold on. It should be flush. Is this one not flush this way? Oh, okay. I guess it's not flush that way. I'm like, wait, why is it? No, that's right. Okay, so there's it. There it is. Now let's take our, I have a piece of this beautiful paper. And this one is 4x4. And I'm just going to glue it to the inside of my card. And you can pick the pattern. You can pick the size, or not size, but like what colors, pattern. I need to get a new glue. And I'm just going to slide that in. Obviously, this would have been easier if I had done it before I glued the box together. And there you have the super pretty background. Look at that. I love it. Okay. Now, let me bring the original out. So I did a pelican on the inside. I did some clouds and birds. It's hard to see back there, but I did clouds and birds. And then we have our sentiment, our label. Now, this die set also has really cool labels. It has 2 of them that we're going to actually use. It has a little skinny label and it has a big fat label. And then we have our pelican and our clouds and our birds. And I'm going to show you this cool little thing. I didn't know what this was, but just like the waves, these are like an extra layer detail of the clouds to make them look more 3D. Now, I will say this about Stampin' Up. They gave us these waves, but they did not give us the solid wave, but they gave us solid clouds, and then they gave us the detailed clouds. I wish they would have done the same. I wish they would have given us solid waves and then detailed waves, but they didn't. I guess that's why they gave us a stamp, right? But then you can't cut it out. Anyways, I'm done pouting. I'll get over it. Okay. So the labels, now I've already have an extra because I made it for a card I ended up not using. So I already die cut one label out of basic white and stamped the sentiment. You're so totally awesome. I'm going to put this here, but I'm going to cut off this edge first. So we don't actually need this because I've already cut it. And then we have our pelican. We're actually going to need 2 pelicans because I put one out here and one in here. So we're going to do 2 pelicans. Now, this piece of a 4x4 cardstock, we can just glue to the inside here. I just put this here in case you want to write your sentiment. So I'm just going to glue that down real quick in case you want to write a note or something. You can do that on the inside. So that's what that piece is for. Okay. And then this is for the outside. And I'm short a piece. I actually need another piece. So we'll take care of that here in a second. All right. So pelican, we need 2 of them. 2 pelicans. I used Early Espresso for my ink to stamp my pelican. So we'll just ink those up. I think I can get 2 on a piece. Okay, there's the pelican. Now I did color these. I did pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie for the feet and the beaks. Just a little pumpkin pie. Nothing too bright. And then I took my bronzer, because it's a nice dark brown, and I kind of went around the logs here. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking outside. Anybody want a mini Aussie that's annoying? Her life, her main purpose in life, or at least this is what she thinks, is to bark at the neighbor dogs. I hate it. That's all she does all day long. And then she's also guarding us from those evil, scary cats. She thinks cats are the worst thing that ever existed, and she's going to make sure they never get into our yard. And so she's always wanting to go outside and be on patrol and be on the lookout. Okay, so this was dark crumb cake, and I just kind of blended in the wood. So you can see it's lighter in the center, darker on the edges. And then I took my light crumb cake and I just kind of colored in the body of the stork, but left the head white. And that was my interpretation of these little pelicans. Of course, you can go ahead and do whatever you want, whatever your heart makes you happy. All right, so now we're going to do the clouds here on this scrap. We're going to cut the two clouds, and then we also need to cut out birds. And I used, for the birds, so there's a die that cuts two birds, and I used Pacific Point, a scrap of Pacific Point, and I cannot find my Pacific Point. Let me find it. There's a piece. Okay. All right, so we'll cut that out of that. And then we also need to cut out a white label. So let's see if we can fit all that onto this piece. Okay, lots of die cutting to do. Let's move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Perfect for the mini, but I don't want to get it out right now. Okay, so here's all of our white pieces. Let's go ahead and cut that first. Oh, yeah. I love that sentiment. You're totally awesome. You are so totally awesome. Is it an 80s thing? Gives you the 80s vibes. What am I trying to say? Totally and awesome is always part of my vocabulary. So it's my language. All right, so we got those. Now let's cut out our pelicans and our birds. Let's cut all of our birds out. I love my little thing with the washi tape. Purple tape is amazing, you guys. It doesn't tear paper. And I love that I have that little tape dispenser. Oh, are you out of glue, Terry? I think I remember you saying you were out of glue and it's on back order or something. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to rub it in that I have glue. I tend to stock up on glue because I run through it like nobody's business. Put the birds away so I don't lose those. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Ooh, I didn't do a good cutting job on that one. Okay. So I'm going to put that back in my... See how I look at this border. It's way too... It's white on one side and non-existent on the other, so I'm going to have to trim it. This can be the one that goes inside because it's kind of hidden. We'll just cut around it. Okay, there we go. And the other one I did good, so we're going to leave that. Okay, so for this inside piece, now you need a piece that it doesn't matter the width. Make the width based on whatever you're trying to glue inside, but the length is 3 inches, and you're going to score at, I wrote it down, let me find it, 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, and 2 1/4. 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, and 2 1/4. And you're going to put glue on one end, just one tab here. And this is the kind of difficult part because you got to get your fingers in here, but there's really no other way to do this. But you want to bring that tab in without getting glue everywhere, and you want to glue it to the side. So let me bring this in a side angle. Can you see I have glued that tab right up to that side. I've got this tab glued. Okay, this is going to be our little box. And I did this one in white, and I was like, that's dumb. I should do it in green or blue. But that's going to be the box that the Pelican's on, so that you have like that second layer. Okay, so then once we've got that, we're going to put adhesive on the tab at the top here. And you're going to fold that over and glue it to the side. See how I've got that glued to the side now? And the most important thing is you want to close your box and make sure it goes flat. That is the most important thing, because you don't want that box to be glued down and it stop you from folding your card over. So this is what you should have. You should have a little box in there like that. Do want to give your glue ample time to glue to dry. Now, while that's drying, I'm going to take some linen thread and I'm going to tie it around my little Pelican's log there, because it's a fun way to add an actual accent to the stamp, right? It's like makes it come alive a little bit. So I'm just tying a little knot, and then we'll trim off the edges. And I do that for both of them. There we go. Okay, so both my Pelicans have their little knots there. All right, so now we're going to glue our Pelican to our little square there that we glued on the inside. So I'm going to put adhesive on the block itself, just like that. And then I'm going to take my Pelican and kind of carefully glue it to there. So I'm just kind of holding it down for a second so it can dry. Don't want it to be crooked. So just trying to get that to dry. So there's our little Pelican. It's about to get splashed by the wave. And then we've got our clouds and our little seagulls, our birds in the background. So these clouds, you actually adhere to these little detailed pieces. You actually adhere to the bottom of your clouds. And it just makes them more 3D. See that? So I'll take this cloud and I'm going to glue it to the inside, up in the sky. Do this one as well. Oh my gosh, I already want to go to sleep. I'm so tired, you guys. Okay, so there is our second cloud. And we'll put that down in here. This is kind of hard to do, especially with my big old man hands. Okay, so there's our clouds. And then for our little seagulls, what I'm going to do, because my big man hands, I just can't handle it. I'm going to use my putty end of my take your pick tool. I'm going to put some adhesive on the bird, and then I'm going to glue that down using the putty. So much easier. So let's do that with this one. And put put it down inside. So there we go. We've got the clouds, we've got the birds, we've got the pelican, we got the waves. We're almost there. So I'm going to trim this off here off camera. Just trim the edge off. Okay. So there's that. And I am going to, like this one, I tied a little bit of linen thread to the end. Just wrap it a couple times and tie a knot. And then what I like to kind of do is take the ends and uncurl them so they're a little frayed, like that. And then we're going to glue that down to the corner here. So I'm just going to put some adhesive. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I'm going to put some adhesive on the corner and then just glue this down. It's so cool making the waves look like, and you can actually stand this up. So like the person that gets this, they can have this image standing up on their desk and you can see inside. Okay. So now we have a piece for the front. You can choose to make it match the inside or not, or whatever. I am going to trim this down. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5. Three and 3/4. I think I'm going to use this lighter side this time. I do need a piece of basic white, which I didn't grab before, so let me grab one. I need a piece of basic white that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I promise I'm going to clean up. I know my desk is like so super messy. Okay. Let me put my putty thing away. Okay. So these should layer up now nicely. It should be the shiny Pacific Point. I'm going to call it Pacific Point. Then I'm going to do so this one is 4 by 5 1/4. This one is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then the DSP is 3 1/4 by 5. I am going to use the lighter side that just kind of matches the inside. This time. No. This is why I hate using runner instead of liquid glue. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so then that will go here. So we'll glue that on. Okay, then we're going to stamp happy birthday on this little label that we cut out. And I'm going to do it in Pacific Point again. Happy birthday. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals here in a second. But first we got to get our wave on here. So we've got to pull out the funky little pieces again. And we are going to cut this down because it's going to be slightly too long. It is a big wave. Takes up the majority of the page. Okay. I'm going to get rid of those. Look at my rainbow. All right. So what I'm going to do is I want it to be glued here, and then I'm going to snip off this edge here that's just slightly too long. And our pelican is going to hide that, so don't freak out. I'm going to use my little silicone mat and some liquid glue and a sponge, an old sponge. I know it's red, but the red ink is gone. It's just old. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive there on my silicone mat, and I'm just going to sponge the glue onto my piece so that it's sticky, and then I can glue that down. And the nice thing is I can wipe that right off my silicone mat because the glue doesn't stick. Okay, so there's our wave. Ooh, so pretty. And then we're going to put our pelican right here to hide this edge. So we're going to put dimensionals on the back of the pelican. If I can find my dimensionals. Where did they go? Oh, they fell. So we'll put dimensionals on the back of the pelican. Thank goodness for him. He's going to hide our little edge there that we cut off. Like that. And then we have our label, which of course I've misplaced. There it is. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that and pop that up. And then we have a finished card. It's so dang cool. I love this paper. I love the die. I love everything about it. I used every single sentiment in this stamp set. I basically used every stamp set except the little, or every stamp except the little bird. So there you go. There's the finished project. So cool, right? I like that the box, this window is bigger. You can see more into it, right? It's more square than this one. They're both fine, but I like the bigger one. So cool. And there you go, you guys. That is today's projects. All of them. I'll put them all out here so you guys can see. We've got this fun one here, and then where's our little seahorses? Then we've got our seahorse cards with the foil and the paper. Bam. Yay. All right, let me, oh, that'd be awesome, Becky. Let me change views here so I can just say goodbye and say hello. Say hello, goodbye. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am sorry again that I was late, but I hope you guys found some inspiration with these wave cards. I know I did. I had a blast making them. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go, yes, like Janie said, I'm going to go rest. I do have some work to do, but I'm going to go rest and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope you guys will too. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.